So here we are for Monday night 9-ball Scotch doubles, and we'll have a quick look at the bracket. I think we've got the 4 teams in. So we've got Potman and Hazard playing Purple Dynamite and Frankel. Potman and Hazard are getting the 8-ball as their extra money ball. And Jose McEwen and Larry are playing Witt and DJ Redo, and they're getting the 5-ball. And Witt and DJ Redo are already up 1-0, but we're in the Potman Hazard match. We're going to watch that. So it's a race to 7, double elimination. And team 1 are Hazard and Potman. Just checking the quality of the stream, it looks okay. Now I'm using XSplit Broadcaster as opposed to XSplit Gamecaster, so I don't have my little diddle thing. Or my little doodle thing I should say, so I'll use the donut. So the angle's there for Frankel to stun up for the 6. Anybody new to this 9-ball Scotch doubles, or any Scotch doubles, means that it's teams of 2 and each player plays 1 shot in turn. And this looks like an easy out for Frankel and his partner. You'll want to get back a bit though, draw off this 7 to leave this 8 reasonably straight. Well, he's gone down south of the 8-ball, so his partner can take it in the middle. Now, I think he might be able to just draw off the 8 and still hold for the 9, rather than running down the table. And he's running down the table, but plenty of room. Taking a bit of a risk putting all that spin on it though, but he's got away with it. And so we're off and running. It's 1-0 to Purple Dynamite and Frankel. Now if there happens to be anybody in the chat, it would help if they actually type something to see if my chat overlay's working, because I can't see, I don't have a monitor for my actual channel. I'm actually watching the preview of the broadcast. I'm not sure whether the chat overlay's working at all. Might be worth actually testing that out. That's the one thing I never checked to see it was set up properly. The chat overlay appears on my broadcast screen, so anybody watching it can see the chat as well. But I'm not sure it's 100%. I'll probably check that maybe after this match. So anyway, Potman and Hazard have a chance to make a quick response here. Remember, they only need to get to the 8-ball. That's going to be a problem. Potman's left dead straight in a 6. Unless he tries to squeeze an angle here, that could be dangerous, but he can only really go back the way. And he's heading, well, he's managed to squeeze an angle. Hazard just needs to be gentle with this 7 ball. Leave the cue ball on the right hand side, somewhere in the middle of the table. Well, he's babied it a lot more gentle than I thought he would. And it's slightly awkward now. He's left his partner a thin cut into the middle. So we're tied up at 1 rack all. And the 3 ball has gone. Well, no real advantage in trying to pot this 1, because unless you play a lot of inside English and get a bit lucky, there's not really a great chance of getting on the 2, and that was a poor one. Caught the knuckle. Well, this is a chance for Purple Dynamite to could play a safe here. It's an awkward cut. Well, he's gone for the cut and he's left it on. That's the thing that amazes me about some guys. You know, you've got to weigh out the percentages of a shot. And okay, if you get it, you look cool. But look at the position he'd left his partner on the 2 ball. Absolutely no chance. You've got to use your common sense and play the decent safety when it's required. So now it's given Potman and Hazard a chance. Albeit not an easy one, because the balls are all sort of lined up in the middle of the table there. Or lined up across the table. And that was a poor one from Potman as well. But he's going to get the second prize. Well, it's an easy kick for Franco. He would actually want to hit this half ball, this 2 ball. If he can hit it half ball and send it to the left, the cue ball goes to the right and he may well leave them hooked. And he probably won't want to hit it hard either. Well, it's gone left, but the cue ball has come down the table as well. So he hit that too hard, in my opinion. If he'd hit it a lot more gentler, he would have got a much better result, probably. So the 5 ball, let's have a look at it. 5 ball doesn't go that way. It doesn't go past the 9. So that's going to be the problem. The thing is, though, is Potman can drop right in behind the 5 here. Now, you see, that needed a little bit of left spin just to send the cue ball over to the left as we look. He's left his partner, well, not very much, to be honest with you. I don't know whether they can see enough of the 5 to actually cut it, but another poorly judged shot there. And Hazard's had a blast and needs to get lucky. Well, he's not got lucky. Now, can Purple Dynamite get this cue ball out into the middle of the table? That's all he needs to do, is pot the 5. If he's got enough on the cue ball, it's going to come off the side rail and out to the left. But he's missed the 5. Got the cue ball in the desired position. So another chance for Potman and Hazard. I think this is a third attempt to actually try and win this rack. Now with this shot here, a little bit of top and a little feather of right English, and that will do the job. That's exactly how you want it. Well, you can drop the 7 ball in pretty much dead weight, I think, and he'll still leave his partner a shot in the 8. Well, I tend to want to run around the angles here, and again he's played a sort of nothing shot. Mind you, he didn't need to bother. I forgot it's an 8 ball handicap. I keep forgetting about the bloody handicap. So their extra money ball was the 8 ball again. So it's 2-1 to Potman and Hazard. And the 8 ball and the 9 ball's gone down. So they both get respotted after the break-off shot. You still remain at the table, but they've got no shot in the 1. So just to push out, I would think. Now, playing the push out down here, the obvious danger with that shot is they're going to be in trouble any second here. Franco's just going to run that 1 ball between the 9 and the 5 and stick them in the 8 ball if he can. Again, that's what I say about when you play a push out, you have to think about what you're doing. And it was not a good choice of shot for a push out. But nevertheless, got the kick and haven't left anything easy. And of course, the trouble now is the 9 ball and 8 ball are still stuck together. So it's anybody's rack this. Now I need to remember my transitions. I've got transitions set up, and right, that's the one. That's the one I want to be using. I just can't remember what number they are. Well, once again, Potman's going all out for the bank, and there was good cover at the top end of the table for a decent safety. So Franco can pot the 2, go between the 6 and the 8 ball off the end rail, and back up for this 3. Well, he didn't want to hit the 6. If he'd missed that 6, it'd have been perfect in the 3 ball, and he's left his partner a tough one. Now, the one thing about Scotch doubles is when you've got a partner, you want a partner who's thinking about what they're doing. And he played that in such a pace to try and hold it for the 4, which was not a bad effort, but it's the wrong side of the 4, and Franco's going to have to do something with this cue ball. It makes the shot a lot more difficult in trying to give his partner a sight on this 5 ball. He's played it as gentle as he could, and he's hit the knuckle, and that's held it up. So Hazard and Potman have another chance. Again, it's still tough because there's no joy with the 8 and 9 here. They have to move something. Oh dear. Well, that's gone wrong. Now here's where you have to think about what you're doing. Potman's going to try and kick this 5. If he kicks this 5 and slams it, he's going to nudge the 8 and 9 and open it up for his opponents. So I would tend not to want to actually hit this. Well, he's hit it full and avoided splitting him, which in the end it worked out okay, but if you had a slam at that could have worked out a bad move, because it means that both teams have still got to do something with 8 and 9, so you're still in the game. So Franco has an angle. The angle on this 6 ball tends to suggest it would draw past the 8 and 9 because he's cutting it into this bottom left hand corner pocket. Well, he's managed to get the 8, and that's unlucky. If he'd actually glanced him, he hit that 8 full in the face, and he's tied his partner right behind the 9. So Purple Dynamite has to have a slam at this 8 ball and hit and hope. Well, he's going to jump, and the danger here, because he's so close and the 8's close to the rail, he's likely to jump off the table. Well, he didn't actually make it, so it's going to be 3-1 to Hazard and Potman. An easy out here, because all they need to do is pot the 8. Now the 4 ball I think's went in. And, well, there's the danger ball there. 9 ball hanging over the middle pocket. 2 balls tied up though. Now I wonder if Potman might try banking the 1 up and clip that 9 in. Because the 2's tied up, I'd be playing that shot. Because there's no way he can get to the 2 ball from this. And that's what he tried. It was worth the try. There's never going to be any great deal of damage done with the 2 and 7 tied up on the right hand side rail. Well, just a very light feather off this 2 ball, try and send the cue ball behind the 5. That should be the plan. He didn't quite get there, but he's left it too tight. Well, now's a chance for Hazard to actually bank the 2 out into the middle of the table and bring the cue ball down behind the 3 and 9. And he's went for the combo. Oh, that's unlucky. Oh, I thought he was going to scratch. Well, that's riding your luck there, because he's got his partner a shot in the 2, but it's not easy. That was well played. That's a good shot. Now, there's a very slight angle on that 3 ball, and if he plays it with top and right, he can get down for the 5. And needs to, well, that's going to have to bounce. Needed a bit more juice into that. He's left it tough for Potman. And Potman needs to be aware of the scratch into this left middle pocket. And the other thing is, he also needs to be aware that his extension's gone. So he's only got a few seconds left to play the shot. And he likes to take his time, but he's not got much time to work with. And didn't get the cut. So this is a chance now. A strong chance for Frankel and Purple. What the hell's his name? Purple Dynamite. To get back in this match, and Frankel needs to play this either with a lot of inside, which would be brave, or go around like he's done. That's maybe a wee bit strong. Well, he's okay. So just a gentle roll in, and remember, Purple Dynamite and Frankel, they have to pot all 3 balls. And just a simple one for Frankel. Pot the 8. A little run through off the end rail would bring the cue ball up the table slightly, make that 9 a bit straighter into the middle pocket. So it's back to 3-2. Quick look at the bracket and see how things are going. Well, that other match, Whip and DJ Redo against Jose and Larry, and they're only getting the 5 ball, but they're actually up 5 racks to 1. So Larry and Jose have got their work cut out. 3 ball has gone down in the break. Franco's got a thin one into the left middle. But if he gets over to the right hand side, I don't know whether that he can get. Certainly the 2 ball isn't potable into this bottom left hand corner. Well, Franco didn't even risk that. This is what I say about using your common sense. He's thought about the fact that getting on the 2 ball was nigh on impossible. So what's the best option? Play a good safety. And that's something you don't see a lot of players thinking about. And Hazard's missed a kick, and he's also split the 2 and 7. And so no shot for Purple Dynamite here. He's just going to try and feather the 1 ball and try and hide the cue ball down past the 8 and 7 here. It needs to run. And that'll do. Shouldn't be difficult to hit it though. Even kicking off the end rail, it should be fairly straightforward to hit this 1 ball. And now Franco's got another chance to punch the 1 around the table if he can. However, the 2's now in the open, but even so, it's still next to no chance of getting on the 2 from there. Well, clearly he played the snooker, but he didn't get the angle to send the 1 around the angles. It's caught up in the jaws of the pocket. Once again, look at where the 4 ball is. That's the next ball on after this 2 ball. Potman should be thinking about a safety here. There's no great advantage in trying to pot this 2. It's not an easy shot, so the easier shot is a safety. And that just needs to creep past that. That'll do. But once again, I think it's fairly easy to clip that 2 behind the 4 and 9. Purple Dynamite's going the other way. Now he's going to split these, this 4 and 9 if he gets it wrong. But he's actually played that quite well. That's worked out not too bad. Well, this time it's gone wrong. Hazard is scratched, and it's ball in hand to Frankel and Purple Dynamite. But once again, the 5 and 6 are, well, the 5, let's have a look. The 5 pots into the middle, but you've got to get there. You've got to get on it to be able to do that. So is it worthwhile taking the risk? Maybe another good snooker would do. Needs to get the cue ball tight on the 4. Well, he's gone for the pot. Now Purple Dynamite's got the 4 into the middle. It's a thin cut, so he can't hit this hard. Now does that 5 go into the opposite middle? No, it doesn't. So I don't know what they're going to do here. Well, that's a good idea. Keep it safe and try and get the cue ball as tight to the 9 as he could. That's a good shot. Good effort there to play the jump from so close behind the 9. He's got the second prize though. Once again, easy to kick, and if he gets this full in the face, he may well send the 4 up behind the 7 onto that side rail and up the top end of the table. Well, Franco's played it gentle and got the cover again, but once again, easy to hit. And the 4 just gets to the rail. Now it gets interesting because we know the 5 passes the 6. So it's just a gentle roll down the rail and hold that cue ball to leave Frankel a shot in the 5 into the middle. That's not going to get there. Pushed it away. So this is about controlling the pace. Just to draw back off the 4. Somewhere up by the 8 ball would be ideal. Potman's lining up by what looks like topping the cue ball. He might actually change that, but well, he's going for drawn out, and he's overdone it slightly. It still cuts from there though. The other problem here though is that Hazard is going to be hitting that 6 ball. He can't avoid it, and if he hits it thickish, he's going to cut it towards the 9 and maybe tie it up. Oh, he's managed to miss it. Looked as if he couldn't avoid hitting it, but clearly had the angle to avoid it. But here's a toughie. But if Potman pots the 6, natural path of the cue ball's off the left hand rail just next to the middle pocket and back out for that 7 ball. Needs to make sure he comes out far enough though. And he's played it well, but that is unlucky. Just too much power and headed straight into the pocket. So this is a golden opportunity to get this match back all square for Frankel and Purple Dynamite. Right, let's have a reminder where these guys are. Oh dear, now Frankel is going to be cussing at that one. That was really poor. Well, Hazard's from the UK, Frankel from the UK. It's funny that Frankel had an American flag for a while there until he realised that everybody knew who he was anyway. So changed it back to UK. Purple Dynamite's from Belgium, Potman from England. And Potman just needs to concentrate fully on this 8 ball. Remember, that's all they need to win the rack, and it should have been 3-all. And that was a sitter missed there by Frankel. So it's now 4-2 to Hazard and Potman. A surprise miss on that 7 ball, I have to say. But that was maybe what happens when you take something for granted. If you don't give it your 100% attention, things can go wrong. So Potman breaks off in rack number 7. Dry break. And not much of a shot on here for Purple Dynamite. Just double checking. Just double checking there that my chat window has been activated. It has, so there's obviously nobody watching this. Or if somebody has typed something, it's not working properly. But I did test it previously and it was working. See if we can get some guys in the chat. don't think anybody's interested though. I think they're all busy playing. So this time the 7 and 8 are sort of stuck together. Although again, clearly the 7 goes into that middle pocket from a certain angle. Now, Hazard can also leave, if he just runs through a touch, he can leave Potman an angle in this 6 to actually run into the 7 and the 8, but then that's taking a risk and getting lucky that you're going to give your partner a shot. Well, he's gone too far. I think he's gone too far. Yes, he has. So, goodness knows what Potman's going to do here. Could go all around the table. There is an angle to come off there, down here, round there, and up there somewhere to actually leave a shot in this 7 into the middle. The angle is there to do it. Now that needs to keep going. In fact, it's going to hit it, but it's going to hook him, is it? Oh, that's unlucky. Extremely unlucky. And now they've got themselves in a hole, and this is the old hit and hope here for Hazard. Oh, he's banked it. Excellent. I'll take that any day. There's a bonus. So Potman just needs to roll the 8 in, and it's 5-2. Well, that's what I say. Just get it lined up, give it a bang, and just hope you get lucky. And you can't get any luckier than that. And all of a sudden, a match which should have been 100% 3 racks all, it's now 5-2. And Frankel will be having nightmares about that 7 ball, I'll tell you that. And what's worse is that I can keep showing him it over and over again once I've got it recorded. So a dry break. Easy safety here for Frankel. And he's got that tight on the 5. I don't even know whether Potman can get to the side rail. Oh, he can. I thought that was tighter than it looks there. You can certainly get the angle to hit the 1 ball. Just go around the corner. Oh, he's missed it. He's missed it. But no immediate danger here. 5 and 9 are stuck together. Oh, not a good shot by Purple Dynamite, but then again, it was never easy to get anything on this 2 ball. So Frankel can roll the 2 up the table, try and stick that cue ball onto the 4 ball and leave their opponents in trouble. How does that look? Well, earlier on Potman played a jump shot, and I'm sure the cue ball was closer to the object ball than that is, but it's Hazard's turn, and he's gone for the kick. So now it's ball in hand back to Purple Dynamite and Frankel. Now can they run out? And the pressure's on. You're 5-2 down. And well, the balls are all effectively in the open, but there's a little bit of tracking this cue ball to be done, because it's not as quite as simple as it looks. Especially here, you've got to get right over to the left hand side for this 4 ball. Now he's gone slightly too far to the wrong side of the 4, which means that Purple Dynamite's running away. He's playing a draw to try and hold the cue ball, and that's not bad. And now Frankel has to find a path that avoids the 8 and 9 here to get his partner on that 6. And he's found a gap. Oh, the only unfortunate thing is he's left his partner on the rail, but a little run through, nothing elaborate, just a run through and off the rail and onto the other side rail will give Frankel a shot in the 7. He has to get there. You've got to hit the ball. He's left it way short. And now Frankel's got all the pressure on his shoulders here, trying to keep him and his partner in this rack. And it's all going to clinch on this 7 ball. And he's played that excellently. The same again here for Purple Dynamite. Pot the 8 ball and stun off the end rail and make sure you get enough weight in it to get up past the 9 to leave the 9 into the same pocket. Oh dear. Well, he's choked. He has choked, but they've got lucky. But that's a cross bank, that 8 ball. And Potman, I don't think he can make... Can he make enough of that to make the potting angle? I don't think so. I think I'd be cutting it to make the double, the bank off the left side rail into the top corner. It's easier to play that shot than it is to try and do anything more elaborate. We only need this 8 ball. It's worth a go. Needs to watch the double kiss though, and he's played it, and it's going to go into the other pocket. That was well done. There's always a chance that's going to happen. So it's now 6-2. And Frankel and Purple Dynamite are on the brink here. And to be honest with you, when you think about it, at 3-2 down, with Frankel playing that 7 ball and missing it, the whole match has turned on its head from there. They haven't won a rack since. Aye, Simon. Oh, the chat's working now. That's much better. I can read that, no problem. I was waiting on somebody actually joining the chat and actually typing something so I could read the damn thing. I've made it bigger. I've made your name a green colour and the text yellow against the red carpet so I can read it. Brilliant now. Plus I've got the timestamp on it that tells me when you typed that 2 minutes ago. It's probably been up there 2 minutes before I noticed it. Yeah, it has to, the text has to be a lot bigger so I can see it on the monitor. Right, I'm just going to try my little, what do you call them again? Transition. We'll do my little transition. Yeah, that's still working. So Purple Dynamite and Frankel. Well, Frankel's got another tough shot. And all the weight, once again, has been put on Frankel's shoulders here. This is not easy, this 7 ball and getting up for the 8. He's got a lot of work to do. And that's the best he could do. Now, we've seen Purple Dynamite showing the pressure with some of these cut shots. Made a mess of one earlier on, and this is not easy. And you don't want to hang this up for the opponents because it would match over. And there's the result just came in. Jose and Larry. Well, they were up against it. I think they were 5-1 down. And Witt and DJ Redo have beaten them 7-4. And meanwhile, Frankel sinks a 9. And it's back to 6-3. What's very blurry? Don't forget, Simon, it's like YouTube. You can select the quality, can you not? And the little cog wheel or whatever. on the stream. I'm broadcasting in 1080, so it can't be blurry. Don't, you know, a lot of people watched it on YouTube and said it was blurry, but then they hadn't actually adjusted the, no, not the video, what, the text. When you do the advert thing, aye, well, see the one with my face on it, that's purely down to the quality of the pictures. I'll do the first one that I do. The first one that I do is this one. Now that 9-ball gaming one, that's a fairly high res picture, but the one with my picture on it, that's crap. Now that one with 9ball.com in it, the second one with my picture on the 4-ball, that's the crap one, because that's a low-res JPEG. All I need to do is find higher res backgrounds for the transitions. That was kind of sort of thrown together anyway, just to test it was all working. But the video quality is good. But certainly I've got the chat at a size that I can read now without having to try and look at my live stream on Twitch. Christ, you're the only one that's bloody typing. You must be the only person watching this. Anyway, back to the match. Portman and Hazard are on the brink. They lead 6 racks to 3. They were, well, Portman thought there was enough of the 3-ball to catch it, but he's missed it completely, and here's another chance for Frankel and Purple Dynamite to get themselves another rack back. Now, Frankel is relying on his partner playing the sensible shots here. Plenty of room to get on this 5-ball. It's how you execute the shot, though. Well, he's played that with inside English, and that takes the pace off and sends it to the side rail, so that shows you he's thinking a bit about what he's doing. But once again, Franco's got all the work to do from this 5-ball to the 6. And the little nudge in the 9 has opened up the 6. Looks fairly straightforward to draw off the 6 onto the 7. So could this be the beginnings of a comeback? Oh, Hell's Kitchen, Jesus Christ. Well, it's now going to be 6-4. So we'll see if Hazard and Portman can hold their nerve if they get a chance. Three ball has gone in. The one does cut, but this is where you might need to rein yourself in here, Frankel. There's a good option to get a safety here, but I think he can see enough this to cut it between the 4 and the 7, and it'd be a brave shot. Yeah, he's done the right thing. He didn't try and pot anything there. He tried to play it safe and get cover, and that was, well, a good effort, but once again, there's plenty of room to jump that 5. Hazard wasn't keen and almost kicked the one in. That was a good attempt, and Portman was telling him to jump, but the outcome was almost pretty good after having got that that kick out earlier on in the match. But Purple Dynamite can see the one. Now, as long as he doesn't scratch, he's okay. He's left his partner a simple 4. Now, Franco needs to look at this 5 ball. And that's what he's doing, because it's not quite as simple to pot that 5. That 8 is very adjacent. And to actually get that clean to pot that 5, I think is very, very difficult. Well, I'm going to take a lot of convincing that that 5 can be potted at that angle. I'm not so sure it can without fouling the 8 ball. I think that's a foul, surely. Has to be. Yeah, that was always the problem. It was the potting angle on that 5 wasn't there, in my opinion, and that's why it was so difficult for Franco to do anything. So Potman and Hazard have got the chance, and remember, they just need to get to the 8 ball. So roll the 6 down the rail and keep rolling the cue ball after it, and that needs to get there. Well, Franco saying it needed to be turned with English, but even playing that shot, there's still a strong risk of foul in the 8 ball, but that's neither here nor there. Potman just sinks the 8 for the match, and Potman and Hazard eventually win out by 7 racks to 4, and Frankel and Purple Dynamite go to the 1-loss side. And we'll have a look at the bracket. So that'll update any second now, and Jose and Larry are waiting on the 1-loss side now. The 1-loss side is a race to 5, and meanwhile Potman and Hazard are going to be playing Witt and DJ Redo, and Witt and DJ Redo are getting the 7 ball, but I think we'll go and watch the Purple Dynamite Frankel match with Larry and Jose, because I think that'll be a good 1-loss side match. We'll watch that in a little minute or two. So here we are. This is a 1-loss side match. The 2 players that we've just seen, Frankel and Purple Dynamite, are now playing Larry and Jose, whom we haven't seen tonight. Larry and Jose sent over to the 1-loss side earlier on. And this is a race to 5, and the other thing is, it's a scratch match. There's no handicap to either team. So it's actually a good matchup, this match, because you've got Larry and Frankel, who are 2 what you would describe as world-class virtual pool players. I mean, they're excellent players. They know the game. Larry's been around for as long as I have, and Franco has got a lot of talent. And Purple Dynamite and Jose, well, I would suggest Jose's the weaker of the 4 players. Jose plays mostly snooker. He doesn't play a lot of 9 ball, but he generally has a fair amount of common sense. So it's an interesting matchup. No, it's not a joint, it's a cigarette. When did you type that? 8:48. In fact, I'll tell you what's more. It's the last of my cigarettes. I've run out. I've got nothing. I'm going to be sucking my thumb for the rest of the night. So Frankel, the little soft draw off the 8 ball, leaves his partner an easy 9 to get them off and running. Well, the 8 ball has gone in. And there is a shot on the 1. And these balls, well, they're all good apart from the 4 ball. And Purple Dynamite, well, he could have done with a wee bit more weight in that. It's into a blind pocket, this 2 ball. Not an easy shot. Always easy to overcut this to the side rail. And it just crept in. So it's going to be an attempted 4-6 combo here. Now the 6 is in such a position that it's probably bound to get in the pocket as long as Frankel plays this with a reasonable weight and not too hard. So he's going to have the task of sinking this 6 ball. I think he's got to be fairly gentle with this. He's got to let the 6 ball run, and it's played that well, and what's more, he's held up the 4. Now Purple Dynamite is playing with inside English, and he's checked to cue ball to avoid hitting the 9. Once again, somebody that knows a bit about what they're doing to play the right shot. That's what you're looking for as a partner. I think this is a wee bit straight. I know there's a slight angle there, that's fine. So straight away, Larry and Jose look as if they're going to be up against it here. If they get a chance, they're going to have to respond fairly sharpish, because it's going to be 2-0 to Frankel and his partner. So Frankel breaking off in rack number 3. Remember, it's a 1-loss side match this. In tonight's Monday night 9-ball Scotch doubles. And the 4 balls get in. No real shot here on the 1. Now what's he trying? I mean, there's again a good opportunity to run for cover here. A lot of balls on the left hand side of the table. The only problem is if he nudged the 1 towards the 6, he's more than likely going to leave it over the corner, which is what he's done. So, is this the opportunity that Jose and Larry have been waiting on? Well, Jose's got the first problem, judging the weight of this so that he gives Larry a shot in the 2 down the rail. That looks a good pace. That's actually perfect. A slight angle in the 2, and Larry can stun the cue ball out for the 3 into the middle pocket. He's a little firm punch when he's trying to run past the 8. Well, that was taking a risk, but he's got there, and no excuse for them not to run out here. I mean, this table's wide open. And Larry's looking to leave this as simple for Jose as he can. Jose should really just kill the cue ball here and not let it run. Leave Larry the long 7. How does that look? Well, that's dead straight, so just a simple roll in, nothing elaborate, and a little roll through with the cue ball. And likewise for Jose, don't start getting ambitious and doing any clever things with the cue ball, just roll the 8 in. And Larry and Jose, well, they were given a chance, they had to take it, and it looks as if they've done it, unless Larry does something unusual with this 9 ball. In it goes. So it's 2-1. Jose breaking off in rack number 4. Now, I think the 2 ball went flying into the top left hand corner. Something went into the right middle. And that was the cue ball. So a scratch. And immediately Frankel has ball in hand. How does that look? Yeah, it looks a bit ugly, doesn't it? We just try to kill the cue ball, stone dead behind the 3. Oh, that's glued to the 3 ball. No way you're getting to that 1 ball. He's going to try and bounce it over the 3 off the rail. Oh no, he tried to get there, but I don't think he had the angle. So, ball in hand. The 9 and the 7 are in an awkward spot on the left hand rail. It all looks fairly straightforward up to that 7 and 9 ball. Of course, the 7 ball isn't going anywhere, and the 8 ball's down here in the bottom rail. So there's a lot of work to get done. The thing is, though, if Frankel can get Purple Dynamite good on this 6 ball. Now, good on the 6 ball would be something like that. To pot the 6 and spin the cue ball up towards the 7 and 9 and try and nudge them out. Well, he's not going to get there playing that shot. That's not a good angle at all, because he's going to run into the 8. And he's played a lot of draw to avoid it. Is he going to get a nudge? Oh, that's unlucky. However, Frankel's got an easy safety. Just a little brush on the 8, on the 7. Now he doesn't want to set up the combo here, because if he gets this stone dead against the 9, he could leave a combo. And he's left a combo. He's left exactly what he didn't want to do. Now Jose, if he was any good with the jump stick, he could jump bank that 7 and 9. Jump over the 2 balls, hit this bottom rail and come back up and kick the 8 and 9. The 7 and 9. They say Jose doesn't play a lot of 9 ball. And that's, well, I don't know whether the billiard is on. Let's have a look. He's looking at the billiard, really thin on the 7. Yep, good shot. But say if that was any of the other guys, they would have went for the bank kick. Sorry, the jump kick. Or jump kick bank, is that what you call it? But the 9 was set into that pocket there. All you had to do was kick and hit the 7, and the 9 would have went in. But anyway, that's all done and dusted. It's 3-1 to Frankel and Purple Dynamite. And we have lost the 3 and the 8 ball on the break. Shot in the 1. Frankel trying to get over past that middle pocket. Well, at least his partner can see the 2, and the 7 ball he can use as a stopper and spin off that 2 and bring the cue ball up towards the 4. And if it keeps running, that's an excellent shot. That is perfect. A full ball snooker, but an easy kick. Now, if Larry gets lucky here, he could kick this along the rail and pot the 2. He's bound to leave his partner on the 4. Well, didn't get that. Well, let's see if Frankel will live up to his instruction. He's going to try and make the potting angle nat too. I still don't think the potting angle's there, even with spin. Well, he thinks he can get it. That's very tight. Yeah, it wasn't there. Decided in the safety. And that's the right idea. So Jose and Larry 3-1 down. Jose stuck up here with a kick shot in the 2. Oh, he'll take that any day. That's a bonus. Cue balls left behind the 7. And that might be a lifeline for Larry and Jose if Purple Dynamite doesn't kick this 2 in. He's making a damn good try at it though. So Larry's got a none too easy shot in the 2, which he gets. The same thing applies again. Nothing elaborate with the cue ball, just pot the 4 and come back. Well, he's gone to the rail. And that's made it more difficult for Larry to do anything with the cue ball here to hold for the 6 ball. This could go wrong. Larry's done his best. Well, now Jose should just be running this 6 towards the 7. Just got to run it and make sure you get to the rail. It's got to be safe. So it's all about judging the pace, and he's not going to get to the rail, and that's a disaster. Even if he'd hit the 7 with the 6 ball, the 6 ball wasn't going anywhere, and he just chickened out on it. Not confident in playing the little soft touch shot there, and it's a sellout. And Purple Dynamite's got the angle in the 7 to get up high for this 9. As long as he hits it, which he's done. Well, that's a gift for Frankel and Purple Dynamite. Oh, well, Frankel, he has missed 2 glaring sitters tonight. Things you'd never expect him to miss. Now here is an absolute gift and a half for Larry and Jose. I mean, that was it. That was an absolute sellout there. Well, Frankel's saying he's too casual, and that's right. Not giving it enough attention. And well, it's back to 3-2. Anything can happen. So Purple Dynamite breaks off in rack number 6. It's come up dry. No shot for Jose, but he can certainly punch the 1 away and just leave the cue ball in behind the 3. An easy safety. Well, Frankel has played another dud shot. He's hit the 1, but he set up the 1-9, the 1-9 combo. And so this could be a quick response here for Larry and Jose. It looks an easy combo, and in it goes. just wind him up. So, well, what was looking doom and gloom for Larry and Jose is all of a sudden it's all brightened up and it's a sunshiny day. But Frankel is at the table with his partner and has a chance to run out. So the pressure's on a wee bit here now. Well, I think he could have done with running through to that 8 ball there to make this an easier 4. It's just an off-angle pot in this 4. And it's... well, he's played it as best as he could. At least he's given his partner a sight in the 5 down the rail. It's all about judgment of pace again on this 5 ball, and he's played that well. That's perfect pace. Maybe left it a bit straight in the 6. No, there's an angle there, so Frankel could spin around the corner here. Well, anything but dead straight, and that is pretty much dead straight. And immediately Larry is interested. You don't get much out of Larry, but Larry knows, as everybody does, that you can only go forward or back when you're dead straight in a shot. So this is about judging the pace for a draw. Well, he's gone through. Needs to hit the 9 to give him any semblance of a chance on this 8 ball. Well, this is a chance for Frankel to redeem himself. I don't know whether he can gently cut the 8. The chances are he's got to go around the table here, surely. Let's have a look. Well, he's played the gentle shot. Well, this 9 ball is easy as far as I'm concerned. Plenty of room off the rail. So in it goes. And Purple Dynamite, well, they dug themselves out a bit of a hole in that rack and done well. So now they're on the hill, leading by 4 racks to 3. Five ball goes into the right middle. And I've got a shot in the 1. And everything's sitting nice here. A good chance to run out. I'll just have a quick drink. That was well controlled. Perfect on the 3 ball. Just to hold the cue ball behind the 4. Well, this is just a little gentle pot. Leave that 6 ball into the right middle. Well, I'd be more inclined just to run through, because it leaves a straight 7 ball into this corner pocket that he's shooting from. Well, he's letting it run away a bit more, but it's still reasonably okay. Needed a wee bit more gentle and not leave it quite as distant. So it looks like match over and tournament over for Larry and Jose. Frankel just needs to nudge the 9 along the rail, and Frankel and Purple Dynamite win this 1-loss side match by 5 racks to 3. Right, so Purple Dynamite and Frankel are in the 1-loss side final. And they're waiting on the outcome of the Potman, Hazard, Witt and DJ Redo match, which is well underway. So we'll jump in there. It's 3-1 to Hazard and Potman, and Team 2, who are DJ Redo and Witt, they're getting the 7 ball as their extra money ball. Now, what the hell's happened here? Well, DJ Redo's queue's taking a while to come up. So, it's now 3-2. Witt breaking open rack number 6. Well, 5's hanging over the top right hand corner. There's a bit of a thin cut on this one. Well, DJ Redo has an easy enough starter and a big window to get the cue ball into to leave his partner on the 2. I honestly don't know why he had a slam at that, but he's got lucky, extremely lucky. Now there might be a player who's not doing an awful lot of thinking. That first shot there that he's played tends to suggest that he's relying on a bit of luck, and you don't play to rely on luck in this game if you can help it. That remains to be seen. We'll see how he does in the rest of the match. He might end up banking this 3 up onto the 5. Could try cutting it. Anything can happen here. But the easiest shot looks like the bank up onto the 5 ball. Now, after all that, he's played an excellent shot in the 3 ball. I'll still reserve my judgment. That was a good shot. And that little bit of spin just sneaks the cue ball well out behind the 6 ball. So Team 2, Witt and DJ Redo, have the 7 ball as their extra money ball, and so they just need to get this 6 ball down and get the cue ball up onto that 7. That's a lot easier said than done, because if Witt lets this cue ball run, there's a chance it will run into the 8 and 9. And wouldn't you know it, that's exactly what he's done. You had to take some sort of evasive action to avoid that. But then again, that makes the pot on the 6 a lot more difficult. So now DJ Rudy's got a... Well, he's going to try the kick. And bearing in mind that Witt just hit that 8 and 9. He's now split them up, and it's an easy out for Popman and Hazard. Little soft draw behind the 9. So remember, this is a winner's side match. It's still a race to 7. And Hazard and Popman are leading by 4 racks to 2. Eight ball goes in. A shot in the 1. Now this could be a quick rack. Well, I was going to say it's a possible 2-9 combo, but that's nowhere near set. But the 2 goes past, no problem. But Hazard has just gone a wee bit far. I don't know whether Popman can avoid that 7. They might need to get lucky here to get on this 3. I don't know whether they can just creep out behind that 7. Well, he's clipped to 7. And Hazard has got a shot in the 3. But he's going to have to leave his partner a dodgy cut in the 4. If he gets this. Well, at least it's gone safe. And the cue ball was nowhere near to leave his partner a shot in the 4. Well, there's a window between the 5 and 6. So it's again a judgment of pace. Run through with a 3 ball and try and check that cue ball up. Because the angle that Popman's got in this 3 means the cue ball's running away up the table. He has to find that gap. Oh, he's hung up the 3 and he found a gap. Got plenty of room there to get his partner on the 4, but he's hung up the 3. The DJ Redo has the same problem here. It's even tougher because the 3's right in the pocket. And he's overcooked that. Oh, what a nudge on the 9 on the 5, but unfortunately the 5's now a blocker. And poor Witt's going to have to play an awkward 4-5 combo here. That's unlucky. He's no real idea where the 4 ball was going to end up. And DJ Redo running for cover, and I think he's pretty much got it. 4's certainly not potable, can just only see a third of it. Well, this is going to be a bit of a hit and hope. Just that you get it safe or you fluke it. Well, it's not that difficult, this 4 ball. It's just about controlling the cue ball for the 6. That's going to hang up. Hit it to the jaw. A chance for Potman and Hazard to stretch their lead here. Oh, I thought that was going to double bank. I'm surprised he didn't just cut that 4. But now the 4 stuck to the rail. DJ Reader's played that well. Well, the 4 does go into the middle, but it's got to be gentle. And the 7 ball's out into the table, so you've got to get the cue ball out. Well, he played that with a lot of conviction, got the cue ball out, and that's probably as best as could be expected there with that shot. So, looks fairly straightforward. Just roll in the 7 and drop behind the 9. In fact, they don't need the 9 because I forgot they only needed the 7 ball again. So it's now 4-3 in favour of Hazard and Potman, and DJ Redo breaking off in rack number 8. Now what ball's gone? 4 ball. 4 ball went into the left middle. No shot in the 1, but a chance to go thin off the left hand side and get that cue ball up behind the 3 and 7. He's got that a bit thick. Hasn't he quite got the pace? And it's now a chance straight away for Hazard and Potman. And these, once again, these balls are sitting nice. Oh dear. Well, I presume he played the pot and just actually probably spun the cue ball away from the 1. Now, Witt's going to have to jump the 2 though. That's a good shot. Well, this type of shot here, you have to run the 2 ball into the pocket and get a good bit of top and follow on the cue ball to run off that end rail and bring the cue ball right back into the middle of the table, somewhere up by the middle pockets sort of length. He's left that way short. That's at least 2.5 feet short of where it should be. That cue ball should have been up here rather than there, because it's now left it extremely difficult here for Witt to do anything with this 3 ball. That was a weak shot by DJ Redo. Strung his partner out to dry here, I'm afraid. And Witt trying to run for cover, but he's actually not got it, and he's left a cut down the rail. And not easy for Potman to get the cue ball right down comfortable on this 5. Well, I presume he played that in the middle, did he? Well, either way, it's worked out in favour, I think. Full ball snooker. Now, DJ Redo fancy a jump in that from that distance? I don't think so. Needs to hit a rail. Well, that's ended up quite nice. Hazard, well, the last shot Hazard played, he wants to get it as thin as that, and he's completely missed the 3. I think he needs to go to Specsavers. The old eyes are as bad as mine. So ball in hand, and no prizes for guessing what Witt's doing here. He's going to nail the cue ball in behind the 8, punch that 3 up the table. How does that look from this end? Well, he can see enough of that rail to kick the 3 easily enough. Didn't get the cue ball tight enough to take away that side rail option. Oh, now it's not gone safe, and it's left wide open, and a chance for Witt and DJ Redo to square the match if they can run these balls up to the 7 ball anyway. Now this shot that Witt has, if you're going to err anyway, you have to err on the short side. You don't want to end the cue ball going down here and end up. He's got to judge this. He's got plenty of angle, and he either finds the gap that way or he finds the gap that way past the 9. But whatever he does, he doesn't want to go beyond that 8. Well, that's the best outcome he could have asked for, if my voice will hold out. Because although it's left awkward, the 6 ball's off the rail. It's certainly cuttable. And, well, that was the best possible outcome as well. Cut it to the jaw, and it's punched it back along the rail. Well, Hazard's not got the distance on the cue ball. This looks good. This looks very good. Excellent pace. I think my voice is beginning to go. TJ Redo kicks at the 6, but no joy, no luck. And another chance for Hazard and Portman to try and put this rack away, widen the gap. That's a good shot. Now, can Hazard hold his nerve and cut this 8 ball in? Got to be thinking about the pace though. You see, he's letting the cue ball just run, and that's a poor execution of a shot.
You've got to think about doing something with the cue ball to prevent that scratch. And so, what should have been 5-3 is now 4-all. Well, no shot in this 2-ball at all. Can't get to an angle off the short rail at the end there. And in the end, sacrificing ball in hand, which is just basically a sort of damage limitation type shot. You try, depending on the lay of the balls, I mean, most of the balls are opened out anyway, so it's now handing an opportunity to your opponents and saying, well, there you go, ball in hand, there's all the balls there, see if you can run out to win the rack. The question is whether Potman and Hazard can do it, and to be honest with you, I don't think they can. We'll see what they can do though. But Hazard needs to put a wee bit more thought into his shots. And this is not easy for Potman. Again, it's into a blind pocket. Well, that's going to scratch. That's unlucky. But he had to get across for that 6-ball, and the only thing that was wrong with it was the weight. So, Witt and DJ Redo just need to pot the 6 and the 7. And that was not a good shot by Witt. I mean, that cue ball should have been over here. That is poor. It should have been right over where the donut is. And he's now got DJ Redo having to dig out a good shot in this 7. He needs to watch the scratch off the 9 here though. Doesn't want to run into that right hand corner with the cue ball. And almost scratched. Almost. We got away with it. But that was just down to a poor ball in hand shot that was in the 6-ball that Witt had. And just didn't run through. But anyway, the rack has been won. Witt and DJ Redo are up 5 racks to 4. 2-ball has gone in the break. And they've got a shot in the 1. The 3-ball down the rail. This looks good for a run out. 4 balls hanging over the top right hand corner. And Witt has an angle on this 3. The only thing he'll do here is find a position behind the 8 and the 5 and block off the 4 if he gets the pace wrong. Well, he's just, I think he's just made it. I think there's maybe enough of that. Let's have a look. Oh, you can spin round that 9, no problem, and catch enough of the 4 to pot it. Let's jack the cue up and a little bit of right hand spin. Might not even need it. He needs to get closer to the 9. Yeah, so he's okay. But he's judged the pace well. Held the cue ball for the 5. Cue ball's running away again. But that's just down to controlling the pace. Far too much running in it, and it's another tough one for DJ Redo. He's played it well, and as long as he skims past that 8, which he's done, he's left his partner a straight in 7 ball for the rack. So now, just one more required, and Hazard and Potman have got it all to do. Backs against the wall, point of no return. They're trailing by 6 racks to 4. DJ Redo breaks off in rack number 11. The 4 ball has gone in to the top right hand corner, and once again they are sitting good on this 1 ball. This is another excellent opportunity, although this time to seal the match. All about getting onto the 3 ball, and I think he's dead straight in the 2. Oh, a little clip off the 6. Not even the clip was needed. That's perfect. That was an excellent shot. Took his time, but judged the pace well. Well, a bit of inside English here from DJ Redo. And DJ Redo has finally disconnected. I think his connection's a bit dodgy. So we will wait here until he reconnects. Should be back in a second. Well, we're still waiting on DJ Redo getting himself back online. Now, of course, in a tournament, when it's, well, here he has, he's arrived. He had a 5-minute deadline there, I think, or was it 5 or 10 minutes? I can't remember, to rejoin the room, or the match would forfeit. I think we have a problem here. I don't see his cue stick.
Right, I'm going to leave the room for a second or two. That's if I can get back into this room. Now somebody, I don't know whether it was DJ Redo, hit the replay. Now he's still sitting in the room. Now he's left the room and now has added Witter back in. Let's go back in. Now I can now see his queue. So we're just waiting on the fourth player coming back in. And DJ Redo, although it shows him at the table, he's not in the room. Now it's saying he's arrived. Right, we're now good to go. And he's played the right shot. Played it with the inside English. Now a little roll in. Make sure you roll in and get that cue ball out. Don't leave it short. And that's much better. That's in pristine prime condition. That cue ball. Dead set in front of the 7. And DJ Redo, I think, is back to the same old thing. I think there's a bit of a delay. And he's overcooked that. In fact, tell a lie, I keep saying it again. I've forgotten again. They only needed the bloody 7 ball for the match. So Witt and DJ Redo have won the match by 7 racks to 4. So now we've got the finalists who are Witt and DJ Redo. So they're sitting there and they've got a little bit of a break time. They can go and get a cup of tea or whatever. And we have Purple, Dynamite and Franco waiting in the one-loss side to play the losers of the match we've just seen. So we will head into that match. So now all the players are in. We're lagging off for the break. And not a bad lag by both players, but Popman has won it. Now, Team 2 are Popman and Hazard, and they're getting the 8 ball. There is, what, 90... let me work that out. It's at 98 points between the two teams. Well, the scratch immediately on the break gives ball in hand to Purple Dynamite and his partner Frankel. Oh, straight away Popman's left again. Oh, now he's back in. That was quick. We might be having a bit of a connection issue tonight. A little bit of instability going on. We're back to the job in hand. It's still ball in hand to Purple Dynamite. He's played the 1-2 combo. Played it at such a pace to let the one run on up towards that corner pocket. But once again, Franco's got all the work to do to get on the 3. And I think he's judged that well. Well, I wonder if Frankel can redeem himself from some of those howlers he made in those previous matches. Purple Dynamite's been left stone dead straight on the 5.
Well, that was well played. Again, judged the pace nicely. Is there a slight angle? Yes, there is. Only very slightly, though. He's trying to draw back. Could have done me another couple of inches, to be honest with you. This is a wee bit of a tester. Again, he's played it well. So, Frankel and DJ Reed, Purple Dynamite have got the first rack under their belt. Now, the 4 ball has got in, the cue ball almost scratched, and poor Frankel is hooked, corner hooked, up at the top end of the table on that 1 ball. So he's just playing the push out. Yeah, absolutely nothing on here for Zazad. He can try punching the one up the table, which he's done. And now my camera's all gone wonky. That's better. Where's the 1 ball going? Very close to the pocket. Not quite though. But the cue ball has got in the right place. It's stuck right behind the 7. Good jump shot. And, well, there's a good reverse bank on here on this, excuse me, this 2 ball. Because if it doesn't go into the top pocket as we look at, well, I'm surprised Hazard didn't go for that, because that 5 ball makes this bottom pocket a lot bigger. And in the end he got the double kiss on the 2 ball. And Frankel playing the delicate little feather edge on the 2 ball. It's actually, cue ball's crept out past the 8 ball, but there's nothing on here though. Well, Potman, I think, would like another go at that 2 ball, because all he's done is just set it up for Purple Dynamite and Frankel. That's a good shot. Nice little angle on this 5 ball as well to get the cue ball out into the table for the 6. He could try going up to the left middle pocket, but that needs a more accurate shot to leave the pot on. Much better if he come back out into the middle of the table. Well, in the end, he's played a nothing shot. He didn't have enough weight to get the cue ball out into the table well past that 8 ball, and he's left it awkward here again for Frankel. You'd expect him to get it, but it just leaves more work to get done. How's his luck? Well, he's double kissed into the 7, but that really stems from the shot that he was left with. He couldn't do an awful lot. So, a poor shot there by Hazard again. He's brought the 7 out and left the pot on. And again, it's down to a bit more care and attention with the shots. And stop playing the loose shots. That's one thing I'd be saying to Hazard, especially if he was my partner and he's using my entry fee money in this tourney. I don't want somebody doing their best to fritter it away. I want somebody who's going to put a wee bit more effort and thought into what they're doing. But anyway, 2 balls left for Purple Dynamite and Frankel. And just this 9 will give them a 2-0 lead. Race to 5, remember. Just on the 1 loss side. Two ball goes in the bottom right hand corner. And there is a shot in the 1. Purple Dynamite has a good angle on this one. As long as he doesn't collide with any on the left hand side of the table, he should be able to get back across to once again give his partner a shot. And well, he's collided straight into the 7. Now what's Frankel got here? Well, he's not got a bank. So he's going to be looking to hide this cue ball somewhere. And he's going to find a gap between the 5 and the 7. Or is he going the other way? Well, he's going to send a 3 between the gap. At least I think that's what he's going to do. Well, he's not found the gap. But he's left his opponents in a bit of no man's land here. There's nothing easy. Well, the little nudge on that 9 there has just helped the 3 ball in behind the 8. I think you can see a bit of an edge of it. Oh, look where the cue ball's finished. That was a good kick. A kick safe. This time it's a good hit by Hazard, and the cue ball, well, at least it's finished in an awkward place. This is not an easy cut for Frankel. Cueing right over the 6 ball, looking down on the shot. And in the end he didn't even attempt to pot it. Much preferred playing the safety, and he's played it well. That's a good shot. So the kick has been missed. It's 2-0 to Purple Dynamite and Frankel, and they've now got ball in hand. Well, Purple Dynamite could draw all the way up the table and leave Frankel the 4 into the right middle, or he could just roll through a tad and leave him the long 4, which is what he's done. And Frankel can either run through to the top end and bring the cue ball out for the 5 into the right middle pocket. You can leave it long. Well, in this case, he sort of did neither. He's neither here nor there. How does that pot look from there? If he's potting it into the top end, well, this is now going slightly out of shape. The shot is still on just to pot the 6 and bring the cue ball across, but we're now playing at distance. And that's another one that's now in between here for Frankel. This is tough. He needs a lot of bottom on this to get the cue ball to react quickly to avoid the scratch. But at the same time, he's drawn up towards the 9. But he needs a lot of fizz in it. He needs quick reaction off this 8 ball. And that's probably why he's missed it. He avoided the scratch, but now Hazard comes to the table. The 8 ball does go. Now they need this for the rack, and in it goes. So that's one that's got away there for Purple Dynamite, but that again was down to the weak positional shot that left Frankel too much to do in that 8 ball. Potman breaks off in rack number 4. The 1 ball's gone in, the 6 ball has gone in. And they were shot in the 2. So the ball's now in the other foot now. It's up to Hazard and Potman to run out to square the match. And let's be honest, I mean, this is an open invitation to anybody. Ball's all lying all over the table. Nothing blocking anything. It's just about moving the cue ball. Now Hazard has got more angle on this 4 ball than he'd really be comfortable with, so that now he's having to think about where he's putting the cue ball to get on this 5. Now if you look at the shot, you could play this with left English, but that makes the shot a lot more difficult. He's playing it with right to let the cue ball run, and he's nudged into the 7. Well, his partner's got a sight on the 5, but look at where the cue is. Cue's right over the 7. And poor Potman is going to have to dig out a shot here, but he only needs to pot the 5 and bring the cue ball out. And they're on this 7 ball. So no problems positionally here. Just needs to fully concentrate on the 5. Oh, he's sent it to the end rail. Well, at least Purple Dynamite is going to have to do something. Odds on to play the bank shot, but it was a good chance there for Hazard and Potman to tie the match up. Now the bank's been played and position has been made on the 7. It should be just a little draw shot off this 8. Just draw the cue ball back Well, he's overcooked that, but he's okay. Bit too much juice into it. Should be straightforward enough for Frankel. So, what should have been pretty much 2 Raxall's gone to 3-1 to Purple Dynamite and Frankel. Just a short race to 5. And this to see who gets back through to tonight's final in the 9-ball Scotch doubles. 7-ball goes in. Cue ball almost scratched. And we've got the 4, 5 and 9 all tied up in the top rail. Well, tournament started at 8 PM British summer time, which is just about 2 hours and 5 minutes ago. Well, this will be a shot and a half for Frankel. He's got a good angle on the 3 here, but he's got to try and get his partner on the 4 now. That 4, well, it's very, again, this is one of these, I don't think that'll go. He's got to move it. Well, that's, at least he got the hit on it, and at least he brought it out. Having said that, the 4 does pot. It's not easy, but it's all about concentration in the pot and not letting that cue ball run too far. Yeah, it was never going to be an easy shot, but Hazard comes to the table trailing by 3 racks to 1, and he's pretty straight on this 4. And the other problem is the 5 doesn't go past the 9, and this needs to nudge it, and he's nudging, well, effectively the wrong side, but that's turned out perfect. That's just a simple combo. Just send that 5 on its way and the 9 goes in. Well, I wouldn't be cutting it back, he just needs to hit it straight like that. That's the angle there. And in goes the 9. So it's back to 3-2. Four ball goes in again. No shot on the 1, I don't think. I don't think that cuts at that angle, surely, unless my eyes are seriously bad. Well, you never know. It might. Yes, it does. But no shot in the 2, definitely this time. Oh dear, I'm getting tired again. It's getting to bedtime. That's a good shot. That has got Potman and Hazard tied up, but I think it's an easy kick here. Can you see the rail from there? Well, not tight enough. If he can get the kick from that side. Yes, he could. But it's not gone safe. Well, that 3 ball. That 3 ball is extremely tight if it's going to go past that 6. And we're about to find out. I think it will go in off the jaw. Well, Franco's looking, I think he's looking at the possibility of the 3-6, but that 3 does go in. The problem is the pace he has to play it at, he's not going to leave his partner a shot in the 5. So he's played the combo. And that was relying on luck as to where the 3 ball was going. And in actual fact, it's not a bad combo that's been left with the 3 and 9. I think Purple Dynamite just has to give it a smack and just hope things go safe if he doesn't get it. Well, he played it in a soft pace. Either way, it's a 7-9 combo that's left line. And meanwhile, Hazard comes to the table. He's got a thin cut in the 3. This time he's got that one. But his partner, well, does he play the cut or does he try and tuck in behind the 8 ball? Looks as if he's lining up the cut. Now if he plays the cut, this cue ball could run into the 7 and 9, and that's actually what he wouldn't want. He would actually just want to leave them the way they are. So he's played the cut, he's avoided the collision with the 8 and 9. 7 and 9, sorry, so now it's just a 7-9 combo. Fairly easy. So we're all square again. 3 racks all. Is there anybody out there? Nobody's typed anything in the chat since 10 minutes to 9, an hour and 20 minutes ago. Maybe nobody's watching again. Well, in goes the 1. The bank's been played. Well, it's a tough on the 2. Tough cut down past that 9 ball, because it's certainly not going into the middle. Or is it? I can't see how much of that pocket I can see because of the 8 ball. I don't know whether he tried the combo or not there, or whether he played the pot. Ran the 2 into the 9. Certainly didn't hit it with enough pace to get the 9 to the pocket. The good bank by Franco, and just not enough juice on that to nudge the 4 far enough away. Now I think Purple Dynamite, if he judges this right, he might still be able to just chip that 3 in off the rail. And he's played that well, but likewise for Franco, he's going to have to bank the 4. That looks a good bank though. I mean, 9 times out of 10 he would get this. Well, I think he felt he had to hit that hard enough to get the cue ball back for the 6, but in actual fact that's probably why it didn't hold the line. So, a bank that got away there for Franco. And meanwhile, Hazard's played an excellent shot in the 4. Okay, it's not perfect in the 6, but there's a shot there for Potman if he wants it. All out for the cut. Shouldn't have to worry about getting position in the 7. 7's pretty much over that corner pocket. And likewise with the 8 ball. Ah, there's somebody watching. Well, 6 ball's been hung up. That was a good chance for Hazard and Potman, albeit from awkward positions. And this looks all too easy for Frankel and Purple Dynamite to run these remaining balls. Shouldn't have any problem at all. So it's going to go back to 4-3. 1 rack lead, but Purple Dynamite's breaking off, and him and his partner only need another one to go through to tonight's final. The 2 balls in this time, but it's going to have to be a jump shot for Purple Dynamite on this 1 ball. Unless he plays the push out, or unless he tries to kick it somehow or other, but he's playing the push. At least that's what's shown on my screen. Is that safe? Let's have a wee look. Oh, I can actually see enough of it. He needs to watch he doesn't run through into the middle pocket here, so he's going to avoid that by playing the jump. Or did he? No, he just jacked it up. That was a good shot. But the 7 and the 9 are tied up on the left hand side there near the middle pocket. Do we bouncing an inch or so? A wee bit short. Well, all the fun and games is going to start when we get down to this 7 ball, because that's going nowhere right at the moment. Oh, don't finish behind the 9, whatever you do. Oh dear. Well, that's a bit of a disaster, is it? It certainly is. Well, is Franco lining up the jump? Yes, he is. And he played that well. Well, what do they do now with this 7 ball? Well, I mean, the route away from this 7 ball is very much limited, of course, by the fact that middle pocket's there. Well, that was clever in its in the idea in trying to sort of corner hook behind that middle pocket jaw, but there's just enough weight in that cue ball just to drop in. But really, it was an impossibility trying to get that safe. But how crucial could that be for Hazard and Potman? Ball in hand. And a chance to square the match, which they've done by potting the 8 ball. That's their extra money ball, and it's now 4 racks all. So here we go. Hill in the race to 5. 6 balls. One of the balls that's just got into that top left hand corner. There was another one, which was the 5. But no shot in the 1. And just to push out, which has been called. Again, need to have a bit of thought in this push out and where you're going to send that cue ball. Well, Franco can cut the 1 ball towards that side rail and try and play it up to 4 and bring the cue ball back up this way if he wants to get distance between the 2 balls. We'll see if he does that or if he goes all out for the pot. If he goes all out for the pot, he's bringing the cue ball back down to the 2 anyway. Well, he's gone the other way, and in the end, that's just worked out nothing. Trying to get that 1 ball down to the bottom rail here, but he's 2 foot short. Now, is there enough angle on that to pot the 1 and come off the side rail? Well, he's put a lot of juice into it. In the end, far too much. Potted the 1, but his partner's fully hooked behind the 8 ball. But an easy enough kick. Round and round the 2 ball goes. Where it'll go, nobody knows. Well, it's gone right there, and this is Purple Dynamite and Franco's chance now. Simple enough to a roll in. The problem's getting from that 3 up to the 4. Well, at least he's left the angle. The angle is there for Franco. He needs to watch he doesn't draw into that top right hand corner pocket if he gets too much fizz on this. And he's okay. Now, what's he left? Well, there is a slight angle, but there's not an awful lot he can do here. He's playing this with top left English to try and squeeze an angle, which he's managed to do, but he's overcooked it. Well, that is a good bank, almost on that first diamond on the short rail there, and it's a perfect bank up and down. It doesn't go into the bottom pocket straight away, it should go up into the top one, as long as you play it with the right pace. Well, Franco's saying the bank might not be on. That looks a good bank to me. Well, it might. Well, if in doubt, head for the long grass. And in actual fact, his choice is proven to be right because he's played a good safety, a full ball hook on the 7, and got their opponents in a mess of trouble here. It's not the fact that it's not that difficult to hit the 7, it's getting it safe. Well, is he hitting it before the middle pocket? Oh no, he just got it just after the middle pocket. Well, they'll settle for that because, oh, that is unlucky. I didn't think that was going to drop. Well, what a way to lose the match. That was extremely unfortunate. Cue ball just had enough weight to drop into the pocket. Played what looked like a reasonable enough safety shot, but it's ball in hand. for Purple Dynamite. And, well, a little stopper in this 8 ball, or he can run through off the side rail and back out into the table. Just a gentle roll. So Purple Dynamite has the 9 ball pretty much straight in to win the match. And Purple Dynamite and Frankel have beaten Potman and Hazard by 5 racks to 4, and they now go into tonight's final. Let's have a look at the bracket, and we'll see that all update in a second or two. But Witt and DJ Redo, well, I hope DJ Redo has gone and restarted his computer in the meantime. Hopefully we don't have as many problems in the final. But the bracket should update. It's taking a wee while to update. There we go. And the room is up. And we will be up and running as soon as all the players get in the room. Well, here we go. We're lagging off in tonight's 9-ball Scotch doubles final. Race to 7 between the team of Witt and DJ Redo, who are playing Purple Dynamite and Frankel. And Team 1, who are Witt and DJ Redo, are getting a 5 ball as their extra money ball. And, well, that's a pretty fair handicap. Now we've lost the 7 and 8 ball in the break. DJ Redo is stuck behind that point on the middle pocket. I don't think he can see the one. Can he? Oh aye, I think he can. Almost potted it. Well, the 5 ball handicap puts the pressure on Purple Dynamite and Frankel, because you know they may make a mistake early on. I mean, even in this rack, these balls are sitting not too bad. 4 balls, the only one that's tight to the rail here at the bottom end. But for example, with this shot, Purple Dynamite's got to get the 1 and get Frankel a shot in this 2 ball, and he's played that well. The only problem is he's left him high on the 2, so there's no real way he can hold for the 3 unless he goes up and down the table. I think if you try and get too cute, you can leave these hanging. That's going to fall short. No, that ended up in a double kiss there. That wasn't planned, I don't think. So, tournament's been on for, excuse me, exactly 2.5 hours. And that's a double elimination 9-ball Scotch double tournament with just 4 teams in it. Well, it's clear that Frankel did go all out for the cut there, down the rail. But all he's done is urged it along and nudged it along to the corner pocket. Well, a chance for DJ Redo and Whit. Well, it's not going to happen there with that shot. The spin on it killed the cue ball, and Whit's nowhere near this 4-ball, and that 4-ball is on the rail, I think. Pretty much so. Well, he's cut the 4. That was an excellent shot, but no shot in the 5. And remember, they just need the 5-ball to win the rack, so might as well. Well, I don't know whether they can make the angle for the bank. I think he can. He's just going to have to go all out for it. It's an all or nothing shot. Well, would you believe it? He's nudged the 6 and left his partner on the 5. Oh dear. Franco will not like that. And I don't think his partner will either. Oh, what a shot. Well, eventually the 5 goes in, but oh, they got out of jail there with that shot. So it's 1-0 to DJ Redo and Whit. And rack number 2 is very much on the dry side. Nothing is gone. But Purple Dynamite's got a shot in the 1. 2 balls stuck on the side rail. And he's got the wrong angle in the 1. Other than that, he's got a perfect chance of getting a shot for his partner. He certainly won't do it doing that though. Stuck him right behind the 6. The old kick and hope here for Franco. And almost potted the 2. Well, this is an easy jump. Plenty of room over that 9-ball. And he'll be looking to pot this 2 down the rail. Well, I would settle for that. That's pretty safe. I don't think you can see enough of it to make the cut into that corner pocket. It was very tight, plus cue ball's going to be very adjacent to that middle pocket. He can only play the left hand side of the 2. And in the end he's got it really thin. Well, Franco can run through and leave the 3-ball long for his partner, but he's fell short again. He just under-hit it. Wanted to be more in a direct line behind that 3-ball so that Purple Dynamite could just roll it into the top right hand corner, but now you might have to think again. Well, he's played the pot and in it goes clean, but that nudge in the 6 has just killed the cue ball and left Frankel again in this twilight zone. Can go for the bank, can go for the thin cut, and the cue ball's travelling in the right direction to get on the 5. Yeah, that was not easy. Well, Whit and DJ Redo, they just need to get onto that 5-ball and they'll have another rack on the board. This is not guaranteed. at the distance that Witt is from this 4, and the fact that he's near the end rail and he can only go forward or back. So he decided he's going to leave his partner as far away from the 5 as he can and leave an outward cut. Well, he's putting a lot of faith in his partner, I'll say that for him. He's overcut it. And that's not a bad outcome. I'll accept that any day. That 6 ball might be a guide though to catch the edge of that 5. Yep, he definitely went to actually try and edge that in. It had to be hit pinpoint on the nose to get that to cut along the rail. So it's ended up being a simple 5 ball for Witt and DJ Redo to take a 2-rack lead. Three ball goes in. Well, a shot in the 1, and there is an angle there to draw back and get on this 2. Again, it's a narrow gap to get into to get on the 2. Oh, that's unlucky, I think. Has he gone far enough? I think he has. That's it. That's ended up pretty good. He's got the 2. Can see enough of it to pot it. And there is a wee angle there to dig the cue ball out and get up the table for the 4. Needs to slow down. And that's ended up not too bad. Maybe the wrong side of the 4. And the 9 ball, the 5 ball is at the bottom end of the table, not doing a lot. So the wrong angle in the 4, so the cue ball's got to either spin off the rail with inside English to try and come up the table, but even then it's going to go to the wrong side for potting the 5. So 1, 2, 3, and slow up or nudge into something, and he's on the 6, and that's an excellent shot. Once again though, it's dead straight, but all they needed was the 5. Remember, the 5 ball handicap ball takes him into a 3-0 lead. And that 5 ball, the 5 ball extra money ball, is looking very generous to Witt and DJ Redo. Well, that's the first time I've seen that for a while. A foul break. Not enough balls hit the rails. So the push out's been played. DJ Redo, well, didn't get the cover. Easy enough to get to the 1. I think you can see a clear shot at it. Oh yes, the eyes are beginning to close. The brain is on shutdown mode. Half the side of my body's actually fallen asleep. Let's have a look at the top end. Well, 2 ball goes. It's going to be a 3-8 combo if it comes to it. Meanwhile, Witt has missed a cut in the 1. And that's a good angle for Franco to get back up the table. But once again though, there's a bit of clutter in the way up at that top end. He's just got to find the right gap. Well, oh, that is lucky. Well, at least he can see the 2. He can actually pot it directly. But the combo isn't dead set now. And he couldn't avoid hitting the 3. This is a nasty one to try and read into that opposite corner pocket at such a close distance. Well, he's played the draw back off the 3, drawn it onto the 8. That was a clever shot by Franco, because what's more, he's left his partner still on the 3 ball. And there is a slight angle, not an awful lot to work with, but he's got the cue ball up the table and left to cut. And Franco's not hampered by the 6, got a clean shot at it. Another cut back. And another one where you've got to control that pace in the cue ball to keep your partner a sight on the 6, and he's played that at the right pace. Another simple enough roll in the 7. Should hold the cue ball there or thereabouts for the 9 into the opposite corner. So, Frankel and Purple Dynamite look as if they've got their first rack in the board. And they have. Winner breaks, remember. So it's Purple Dynamite breaking off in rack number 5, trailing by 3 racks to 1. What's your VP4 name? Because I don't remember seeing that name in Virtual Pool 4. Oh, I've seen that name, aye. I just wasn't so sure with the RBM bit at the end of it. So here we go. Still relative early stages of tonight's 9-ball Scotch doubles final. It's 3-1 to Witt and DJ Redo. They're at the table. And they've got the 5-ball as their extra money ball. And straight away now, Witt's going to have to contend with a tough cut in this 4. And that is frozen to the rail. So this is not easy. But just needs to get a sighter on the 5-ball for his partner. Oh, it's hung up. He's hung up the 4. Well, Purple Dynamite and Frankel are getting their opportunity. Let's see whether they can take it. Where's the cue ball going? I think he's going to hit the knuckle. Oh dear, it just rolled back along the rim and dropped. So it's a gift and a half for DJ Redo and Whit. Oh, that's got to hurt. It was looking like 3-2. And all of a sudden, it's an easy roll in the 5-ball for 4-1. Well, straight away, DJ Redo scratched on the break. And once again, it's another chance to be redeeming themselves here for Frankel and Purple Dynamite. Ball in hand. Well, he's going to have to roll through in the short side of this 3 because he's dead straight. Well, left that bit more angle on the 3. And Frankel has the work to do again with the cue ball here to get his partner on this 4. Well, it's got to be a bank, surely. It's in the middle of no man's land. Well, Purple Dynamite was trying to get too cute there. And the fact that the 8 and the 7 are tied up makes no difference whatsoever to Whit and DJ Redo. They don't need any of them. They just need to get this 4 and get the cue ball out into the table for the 5, which is going to end up in that middle pocket any second now. And it's now 5-1. And I think Frankel and Purple Dynamite feel as if they're swimming against the tide here because, I mean, these two guys, Whit and DJ Redo, they can both pot a ball. And with such a short run to the 5-ball, the odds are stacking higher and higher against Frankel and Purple Dynamite ever doing anything in this match to win it. But having said that, they've got to cut out any mistakes, keep it tight, but they can't be relying on Whit and DJ Redo making enough mistakes to lose a match when they're up 5-1 with a 5-ball money ball. It sounds very unlikely that they would throw away such a lead. Well, they might have started because DJ Rudu's missed the 3, and what's more, he's fluked the 8-ball in. Left his partner still a shot in the 3. Well, Frankel and his partner aren't getting much luck. And what luck they are getting is all going against them. Well, this will be a cracker of a shot if DJ Redo gets this and gets a split on the 5. Well, he tried his best. You don't really need a split in the 5. You just need to get the cue ball in such a position that you can get behind the 5. And we'll see what Frankel does. And that's exactly what he's done. Plenty of room to get the 5 ball into that middle pocket. And goes the 6. Good position in the 9. And this for 5-2. I'm just going to test my little transitions. Well, that's the one I'm not using. Yeah, they're all working. I'm going to have to write down a note of what all my transitions are so I can remember what the hell they are. A well played jump shot. Now, Frankel can see enough of the 2 to cut it onto the 7 because they're dead set. He's played the billiard instead, and that's you relying on luck to leave your partner on the next ball, which he's got. Oh dear. Well, Purple Dynamite's maybe got the same problem I've got. My eyes want to close solid, and I think his eyes closed solid there when he played that shot. But this is not easy. The 2 goes, but it's all out for the 2 ball. Oh, that's an excellent shot. That was well controlled. Lovely pace. Nice on the 3. Oh, the cue balls ran away. That edge off the 8 ball has now multiplied the difficulty in this shot for DJ Redo. Not only trying to get the 4 at that distance, but to get the cue ball around the table and back up for the 5. Well, he's decided he's not prepared to risk that. He's concentrated everything in the pot, and he's leaving his partner to do the cut. Well, I've just read the chat. Let's just advise him to roll it in anyway. But then again, Witt hasn't been able to make the cut. He could have tried to get that cue ball further up the table, but Witt advised him against it, and they might pay the price. Well, that's provided Frankel and Purple Dynamite can do something with this 8 and 9 ball. Oh dear. And I've hung up the 6. But now that the 5 ball is gone, DJ Redo and Witt have to pot all 3 balls to win the rack. And this 6 ball's getting missed because the players are all trying to do too much to try and move the 8 and 9. I mean, you could try and get over to the left hand side and just play the 8-9 combo, rather than trying to make the cue ball do something that it's incapable of doing with the angle that you have. That's why they're keeping missing the 6. Now, whereas Franco's just potted the 6 and decided to get behind 8 and 9, give his partner a shot at the combo. This needs lining up because the 9's not set, but it can certainly be made. Oh, it's a good effort, but it's not there. Now, can Witt see enough of this cue ball to get a genuine hit on this 8? Well, he's hampered right over the 9, and he's got to roll this in gentle. Stop the cue ball running away up the table. And he's overcut it. And it's not bad. The bank is on. And the thin cut is on as well. And what's Franco going to do? Oh dear, he went for the bank. And it's a gift for DJ Redo and Witt. So, 6-2. One more needed, and DJ Redo breaking off in rack number 9. Well, the old hit and hope. And the hit and hope has worked. The 9 ball has gone in. And it's 6-3. Well, the worrying thing for Purple Dynamite and Frankel is that this 5 ball sitting down in this bottom left hand corner. Well, it was until Witt overcut the 1, and now it's nudged over the middle pocket. So the 5 ball isn't safe anywhere. And well, Witt has partially got away with it. He's hooked him behind the 5, but he's going to try the jump. And it's a toughie for Franco. What happens here? Does DJ Redo play the bank on the 2 and try and nudge the 8 in. Well, he's trying to hit it soft. Oh, he just gets there. It's gone safe. In the end, he played a good shot. Well, it's a hard task here for Purple Dynamite and Franco, considering where that 7 ball is. But provided Franco gets this 4 and Purple Dynamite gets the 5 ball, at least that takes away their opponent's extra money ball and forces them into running the remaining balls should they get a chance. And it's none too easy the way they're sitting at the moment. Well, looks as if Franco's going to try and get the cue ball to about there. He's gone a wee bit further, but the further the better to actually give the least amount of angle for Purple Dynamite to cut this 7 down the rail. But it's off the rail, and that was a good positional shot by Franco. Giving his partner as good a chance as he can for potting the 7, which he's done. Now a little gentle one in this 8 ball. So this 9 ball to get it back to 6-4. The break is dry, and DJ Redo, let's have a look. Well, he can certainly jump over the 2. He's decided to play the push out. They might be put back in here. Can Franco see enough of that to cut it in? You know, he certainly can. That was a poor push out. Oh, but unlucky. Franco scratched, and look at this, ball in hand and a 5-9 combo for the match. Or a 2-5 combo, 2-9 combo I should say. I forgot about the 2 ball. So the 2-9 combo is made by Witt and DJ Redo, and Witt win the final by 7 racks to 4. And that was a tall order trying to deal with that 5 ball extra money ball. Let's have a final look at the bracket. It was a winner takes all. The winners get $480 to share between themselves. And with that, folks, that will conclude our 9-ball Scotch doubles in this particular stream. And until we see you again next time, we will bid you a good night and see you again soon.